Well, joy of joys, today is starting out much like yesterday, with a good healthy dose of rain. So, yeah, we're finishing up, packing up, and then I guess we'll just get to walking, because what else are we going to do? Stand in the rain or walk in the rain? That's our two options. So I guess I'd rather be walking in the rain and at least staying somewhat warm. So we're going to Wind Gap, so we got about 4.6 more. Leroy Smith shelter, as you can see, is 0.15 down this Blue Blaze trail across the power line. Yeah, somewhat tempted to go there just to check out the shelter and see how many people stayed there last night. But due to the fact, once again, it's cold and wet, I guess I don't care that much. So we are going to keep going to Wind Gap in hopes that the motel will let us check in early. Obviously, our feet are staying wet today. Thought of dry socks. I'm glad I didn't, because before we even started walking, my feet were soaking wet. So that would have just meant more wet clothes. It looks like the cold is affecting this guy too, because he don't want to move. He just wants to sit right there. All right, buddy. Have a good rest. Oh, there you go. Little bit of movement, slow motion. Slow motion. Dots seem to come to life, like you're a chameleon changing. All right, we gotta go. See ya. So we are 6 miles into our 8-mile trek. So 2 miles from the road junction. It's warmed up a little bit. I don't know what the temperature got to last night. The low was supposed to be 45, and yeah, we were a little higher up, so I'd guess it to be low 40s. We weren't cold or anything. Once again, got the right tent, got the right sleeping bag, working out good. Tent didn't really dry out, but it kind of half dried, so at least once we got our sleeping pad down and into our sleeping bag, that didn't get wet, so that's a good thing. But yes, that's what it's all about. As I've mentioned before, when you're out here hiking, on the good days is a relatively easy task, as long as you like walking. The hard task is on these rainy days, and particularly consecutive rainy days, is really the name of the game, is keeping the stuff in your backpack dry. you're gonna get wet. Every time it gets like this, my clothes, everything I'm wearing, get soaking wet. And so, it's a matter of wearing stuff that dries quickly. Example, these pants, Under Armour running pants actually. I had rain pants, but they were too hot. So I got these running pants, and to be honest, this is the first time I've worn them in the rain. And they work great because I don't know if you can see or if you've seen there, but they were drenched this morning when we were walking, and now they're pretty much dry. So within probably a half hour to an hour most of the rain stopping, these pants have dried out, so that's really cool. And so yes, having stuff that dries quickly, and then more than anything, just keeping the stuff in your backpack dry is probably the two biggest things when wet weather hits that you can do to survive and sustain your hike. So anyways, we got these 2 miles to go, and we need to get them going, so let's hike on. Well, not much of a view, but that's the best view you get on a rainy, overcast day. Trees, clouds, and ridge line if you look really close. Well, everybody, we're here at the Gateway Motel, and we've been here now for actually 4 or 5 hours, and not the greatest of hotels. You can see nice hole in the ceiling gives it away. It's okay motel room, but we paid $100 a night. Should be way more than this, but the good thing is it's not even a quarter mile off the trail. The bad thing is there's nothing else around it, so we've been eating out of our food bags since we got here, and but the other good thing is the bathroom is really hot. So we hung up our tent and ground cloth, and we kind of cleaned them up and dried them off and repacked them. So well, I was really suspect at first. It turned out to be a decent place to kind of dry off our stuff and repack our stuff. So we've kind of done that, and we're about 3/4 the way done with that. We will finish doing that, and my son should be here within the next hour, and then we've got a guy from the local VFW to shuttle us up to Delaware Water Gap, about 20 miles from here, to drop off his car tomorrow, and then bring us back here, and then we'll hike back to the Delaware Water Gap. So the plan's in place. Looks like we have the support mechanisms thanks to local VFW. I guess I won't mention the other veteran organization, but I called them and they wouldn't really put down a beer to help me at all. But the VFW, the bartender literally hollered out if anybody was willing to help, and a couple people said yes, and I got on the phone with Greg, and Greg is going to meet us here tomorrow at 7:30 and do this free of no charge. So that's really cool. I had another run-in with the shuttle driver here who went out of his way to help us, Mike, another great guy. So Pennsylvania just continues to impress me with how generous they are with hikers. So anyways, yes, we're pretty much ready. We'll finish what we're doing. We'll get him in here. We'll get some rest tonight, and then we'll be ready for tomorrow. So I will close this out for today. Very short day, but yeah, that's through hiking. Sometimes you're just sitting around waiting, and so that's pretty much what most of today was. So anyways, hope you're ready and ready to hike with us tomorrow and for the next 2 days. I very much look forward to hiking with my son and his friend, and so that should be really fun. So anyways, we will see you tomorrow.